Hey you guys, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Liz, and this is the Besties in the Books podcast. Welcome.
Ooh, welcome you guys.
Welcome to a spoiler-free episode today.
Ooh.
So we are going to be responding to Bookish, Am I the A-hole threads on Reddit. So this is our third installment of the series because you guys seem to really like it.
Yeah.
So we enjoy hashing these scenarios out with you guys, talking about them with each other. Mm-hmm. Some of them are a lot more polarizing than we think they'd be, too, when we put it out to the people and your guys' votes. So that's pretty fun for us to discuss. I think we're bringing some fun ones today, so I'm excited for that. But before we get into it, we just want to say thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Whether you're new to us for the very first time or you've been around for a while, make sure to like and subscribe anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcasts. We are even over on YouTube, so you can get the video version if you'd like, or you can just pop a little earbud in and listen on your favorite Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast you like to use. Make sure to follow us over at Instagram too and TikTok at Besties in the Books podcast. We are a podcast about books, but we also get a little silly. We also like to stroll down memory lane sometimes.
We do it all the time.
As 90s kids that we are. Sometimes, all the time.
Sometimes, all the time.
We go off on tangents. We have a good time. So if you're looking for somebody to just hang out with and, you know, just have a good time with books involved, then come hang out with us. We'd love to have you.
Are you the age where your parents said, I'm just going to have some friends over so we could shoot the breeze? Then you're probably our people.
Yeah.
Come on over so we could shoot the breeze. What
with
does that
each
even
other.
mean? What does that mean?
It's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
It's a weird saying, but I remember my parents used to say it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot the breeze and bells and whistles. Yep. All the bells and whistles.
Yeah. Well, you get it.
Yep.
If those things resonate with you, come hang out.
Come hang out with us, you guys.
Come hang out with us.
Come chill. So, before we go into these responding to Am I the A-hole Reddits, which are super fun, we are going to be sharing our fave and fails of the theme that we have. Usually it's of the week, but we like to switch it up sometimes, and we have a lot to say about this, so we felt like it was time to talk about it again, as painful as it is.
Okay, in my defense, I don't really have a lot to say about this right now, but Ashley does, and I will. So we're just going to run with it. But it was specifically like, I'm curious to hear all the things that Ashley has to say about it.
Listen, it's been pent up in my heart, and I've needed an episode to talk about it. So here it is, you guys. Listen.
Here it is.
We have a lot of feelings about printers. A lot of bad feelings.
Here we are again. If you've been here a while, you know that we like to talk about
the
printers.
People a long time ago we would talk more about printer issues because it really resonated with the people. So we're just giving you what you want. It took a little bit of time, but I got some stories and I got some visual aids for you.
Okay.
So buckle up, Buttercup. The people that like just listen, sometimes our Reddit pulls in a lot of new people. So I just want to prepare you guys for what you're signing up for. This is a little taste.
It's just good you know. Tangents. It's just good that you know, right out of the gates.
Just know what you're signing up for. A little bit of chaos and a little bit of fun and a little bit of venting. And we're kind of like, what is it? The Seinfeld episode where he has, I got a lot of problem with you people. And I'm going to tell you all about it. Well, that's to printers. Okay. So this segment is called Printer Hate. No,
Printer
we do
Hate.
Fave and fails, but I'm like, I don't know if I have anything fave about it. The fave part of printers for me is that we all hate them so much. Collectively as a community, we have so many issues with printers in 2024 that we can come together and have that camaraderie.
It's literally still our most popular video ever.
So, you know.
Printers. Printer props. Printer props with Ashley and Liz. That's funny that you say that because my printer fave was also when other people complain about printers now.
Yes, I love it. It literally just happened today. Liz and I were talking to a fellow friend / creator, and she was complaining that her printer was having issues with what we needed to see. And I'm like, listen, you're preaching to the choir here. We get it. We know it.
We get it.
You get a pass. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but it gives me like a little bit more joy. It's almost like by talking about it, we've taken the printer's power away. We've taken its power over us away.
Yes. You are onto something.
Yeah, because now it's funny. It's like, as infuriating as it is, it's like, oh, you're having problems with printers? Shocking. And then it's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Because we know 100%. We're not alone. So this is just our daily reminder that you're never alone.
You're not alone. When that printer's jamming, just know in your heart, wait. That's just us being like, giving you a hug. Listen, we get it. We know what you're going through right now. We know how frustrating it is. I literally had printer problems before this episode because I needed to print my papers
immediately before, like 5 minutes before. Yeah.
I was like, Liz, guess what? Printer problems.
Okay, so all right. So I think that before you dive into it, I'm just going to say what my printer fail of
that's fair
recently is, because I just have a little one, and then I just want to hear everything that you have to say. Okay, so you know, when you guys are listening to this, you probably know we went on a cruise to Alaska. And we went on a smaller ship because it can go through, like, I don't know, like the fjords and like the more smaller areas, whatever.
Yeah.
Smaller ship. So the last couple cruises that my husband and I have been on were on much larger ships where they have a lot more updated like technology and whatnot. And so you just look, you know, you take all those like cheesy like cruise photos with like the professional, quote unquote, I'm doing that in air quotes, photographer. And then at the end of the cruise, you go to the kiosk, you swipe your card, type in your room number, whatever, it brings up all your photos. Well, this boat, not so high tech. They only had like 2 kiosks. They didn't really work that well. Not all of the, photos were even on there. They're still printing all the photos out. Okay. So first of all, I want to talk to, do you work on a cruise? Is your job to print these photos? Because that means you're printing so much.
Dude, walls and walls full.
Walls full of these photos, and they're all large. They're all
that
like
will
what?
not get purchased.
No,
yeah,
it's like a
huge,
waist. It's a waist. They're like 8x10s, right?
Or bigger than this picture.
Yeah,
or paper.
Yeah, it's like they're 8x10s or whatever that big size is. Walls and walls and walls of all these, you know, probably not even half of them get bought or whatever. And so, yeah, is this your job to print photos on a cruise before the technology has happened to where people can just look at it digitally? Like, that is crazy. Do you have an immense amount of problems when you... I mean, imagine. It's like...
Imagine.
I just picture this person in the back, all frantic. You know, they're wearing like a sweatband like you'd wear if you're playing tennis. Because they're sweating, and they're trying to crank these pictures out as fast as they can, because their boss is like, no, we got to fill up all the walls with all the photos from all the things that we did. And they're like, oh my God.
People feel guilty and buy them.
Yeah, it's 2024. Why are we still doing this? They're just freaking out. The printer's jammed. They're trying to pull it out. It's like the ink ran out because they have to change it every 2 seconds because they're printing
only
these
one
photos.
Color's empty. Yellow's empty, so they have to refill all of them.
Yeah. So my observation was mostly about like the amount of work it must take to be in charge of printing all those photos on a cruise. Okay, so that's part A.
So we see you, by the way.
We see you. If you need a support group, let us know. We'll help facilitate one for you. The second part to that is, okay, so do you guys ever, like, you know, you go to Disneyland or you go on a cruise or you go somewhere and you keep running into the same person over and over and over and over again?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just one of those things, right, where you're like, this is so weird. No matter where I go, this person is there. Okay. So for me, it was this guy named Kenny. Kenny, if you're listening. Okay, so it's this older white-haired gentleman who I noticed was just literally everywhere that I was, but sometimes he'd be like looking at me, like to the point where it kind of like freaked me out. The reason why I know his name is Kenny is because he did the World's Hottest Man contest.
Oh my gosh.
And we saw it on the TV when you can turn on like the cruise TV.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So that's how I know his name's Kenny. Kenny, if you were watching me, I'm on to you and it was weird.
Yeah.
Okay? But here's the thing that's even weirder, is that as far as I know, he was not sitting like in any of our tables, like surrounding us or whatever, like in the dining room when we had dinner. Yeah. But yet, when I went to go look at our cruise photos, whose cruise photo is right there by our cruise photo, but Kenny's photo?
Kenny!
Kenny! Like, how is this possible?
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's super weird. He was like everywhere I was, and then there's his printed out photo. So I feel like it's some kind of conspiracy.
It's a printer conspiracy. The printer has done it again.
Kenny's
found a way.
Kenny's the printer.
They say life will find a way. Printers will find a way.
Will find a way.
To
They will.
ruin your life.
Yeah. Whether it's through a person or other means.
Yeah.
They will get you.
However they could get to you.
Yeah,
That's
everyone's
the
worried
Stephen
about
King novel.
Yeah, this is the robots. The robots will overtake us through printers. The end.
Oh yeah, I would not be surprised. I'd be like, well, I knew it. We called it. You heard it here first, you guys.
Yep. So, anyways, those are my printer observations, my fails of the week that are oddly specific to cruises.
Okay. Well, the thing that inspired this for me today.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So when we were being heavily mansplained about printers during that viral printer reel that we put up, talking about our printer problems, most of you 24. Got it, but there were some mansplainers in there. And they are like, oh, not a printer conspiracy. Oh. You want to tell me that big printers aren't out to get all of us? After everything you've heard so far, if you still do not agree with me, riddle me this. Okay? Liz, do you see it? You guys see it on YouTube? Okay, for those that don't see it, who are listening, I was printing out a script for my daughter, which I have multiple printer issues with this. She's in musical theater. I need to print a 50-page script for her. Had so many, my printer's like, yeah, right, good luck, okay? That's what it said in the paper jam. It suddenly decided, I didn't know until I was putting it together, and I looked at the document to make sure, 50 pages. It suddenly decided to stop halfway through and restart printing the first half again. So that's an issue that I have in and of itself, okay? Because that's a waste of paper. So
yeah,
it's eating up all my paper. I run out of paper. But while this is happening, midway through, this weird color blocking, ink destroying situation happened, and it just printed all my ink on this paper in segments. Like, you guys, I'll put it in an Instagram story in case you're listening, because I can't describe it enough, except that this was purposeful. This was intentional. It didn't explode. It decided halfway through to start using up all my ink. That's a big printer for you.
Well, yeah,
Exhibit A.
It sensed that you were going to run out of paper, so it's like, I have to use up all the ink possible so that you could also be out of ink.
Yeah. So I had to freaking outsmart the printer and reuse it because she needed the freaking script, so I just turned the papers over of the half that it printed, 25 pages that I didn't need doubles of.
Oh my gosh.
And then it finished just only the 25. It didn't even finish the first half. So big conspiracy with that. And then a few weeks later, I was printing, we do like our maps of our episodes. And it started happening again. And I was luckily standing there and I shut it off. It just, look at these lines of color for no reason. Mansplain this to me, okay? Look at that. Look at big ink, okay? $60 a freaking box now.
Yeah,
Still.
That's crazy.
The cost of ink should have gone down by now. How are we? Listen, we're printing 3D stuff now. You can't even get 2D right. I will die on this hill. What are we doing?
Yeah.
How have we not figured this out?
I don't know.
So I'm big mad at Big Printer. Tell me that's not a conspiracy. How? Why? What? Why did it do that? Why did it do that?
All we can really hope for as lowly female podcasters in this space, where obviously our specialty isn't printers, all we can hope for is that the rest of you who want to mansplain this come out of the woodwork and give us the answers we need.
Or engagement, at the very least.
Like, we just want to know. Like, if you feel like you have the answer to this, please tell us, because it's driving us to insanity.
Why would this happen?
Help us.
Why would this happen? Halfway through printing, oh, I'm just going to waste all your ink.
For no reason.
Did you know that their HP is trying to sell subscription services to people so they have to pay a monthly fee now to print things? I'm out, bro.
That's
I'm going back to the stone and the tablets.
Wait, explain that a little bit. Explain it to me better. So, like,
explain it to me like you're a man that thinks I know nothing. Let's mansplain it for you. No, literally.
Seriously, like, okay, so, but the whole subscription thing. So let's say, okay, you go down to Target You buy a printer. You get the ink, you get the paper, you go home, you set it up. You have to do whatever frustrating things they make you do to set it up. You get everything set up, and then they're like, oh, the last step you have to do is sign up for a subscription and pay a monthly fee so that you could actually use your own printer. Is that what you mean?
Yep, and it sounds like people don't know that's the case until about a month after they bought it. So it almost sets up a free trial to use the printer that you bought.
I hate this so much. I didn't know about this until right now.
About this is a monstrosity.
Jail.
Jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. All the printers go to jail.
You're out.
Here's the thing, guys. We just need to collectively decide we're not printing anymore, and this is the protest that we need to have now.
Do not buy a subscription. Take that printer back and return it to Target. And the once a month time, maybe max, that you need to print something, you're going to go to your library and you're going to print there for free because your taxpayer dollars are already paying for it. Yeah, don't give in. As a society, we have to agree.
We have to stay strong for each other in these hard times.
Enough's enough, printer.
I mean, and here's the thing. It's like if I get it. The library, especially if you're in a rural area like we are, the hours aren't great. Sometimes you can't make it down there. You can go to, like, my husband just went to UPS and had them print something out for him. Literally, it was like a few pages. They just gave it to him. Sorry if I just got someone in trouble. But seriously,
they do it here all the time, too.
It's going to be like 20 cents. Like, it's fine. Just like, and like Ashley said, the few times you need to print something, and you might even have, like, we have a local store also who will do it, like an office supply store that you can just print from, too. So don't let them take advantage of you.
Paying to use a printer that refuses to work anyways? Is it the printers that are negotiating now? Are they like, maybe pay me every month and I'll print something for you? You know? Like, what is happening?
It's the printer voice for me, though. Like, the robot voice. Like, but this is how it starts. This is what I'm saying. It's like, this is how it starts. They're taking over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, not even a conspiracy anymore.
As if, okay? As if ink doesn't cost enough and paper. Now they want you to pay to use it to print. Like, I can't, there's nothing in my mind that justifies it.
I don't understand the logic behind that. Like,
no. I can't. I can't even begin to understand the logic behind that. It's just because they can. That's it.
I feel like, this should be a sign that, like, they're becoming so difficult to deal with that they just need to become obsolete and go away. Yeah.
I feel like I want to talk to some people that have 3D printers. I feel like that's just the better choice. I'm just going to 3D print all my shit. Like, I had to print our Reddit post today because I had to use my phone to FaceTime Liz today. And, like, I'm just going to put it in 3D. Whatever.
I'm just going to start writing it. Just write it down.
Yeah.
There's another thing.
Yeah. They know I won't do that. I'll pay for a subscription before I do all that. No, I'll just bring my laptop out. Actually, no, I didn't even end up printing it. What am I talking about? I ran out of paper. Halfway through. I put it on my iPad, so I just airdropped it on my iPad.
I will pay.
There's workarounds.
Here's the thing. I'll pay for a printer subscription with these stipulations. This is what's included in the subscription, okay? Yeah. It's like $20 a month or whatever, fine. I want someone to personally come to my house and deal with the printer.
Yeah, that would only be the time that's worth it.
It's like a printer specialist comes, they print out everything you need, you don't have to do anything at all, and then they just hand you the papers. That's what a printer subscription should be. Oh, you ran out of paper? Great. I have some in my work truck outside. Let me grab some for you.
It's included. Onto something with that.
It's included in the subscription. Ink included in the subscription. This is the only way I would ever pay a printer subscription. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that is due, then start that business.
It is literally right now just to print something from it.
No, absolutely not.
You guys, don't do it. Return it if you have one that does that. We got to make a stand somewhere. Enough's enough.
The world is so hard.
It's getting harder.
Everything about it is getting harder. Don't let this throw you over the edge because you know it will. You know it will. It's like everything's crazy. All we want to do is live our lives in the most chill way possible, even though everything's crazy all the time. And you know it's always a printer issue that throws you over the edge or some kind of weird technical problem.
It's like the equivalent of like your sweater getting caught in a door on your bad day. It's just the printer just throws you over the edge.
Every time.
There you go.
Yeah,
guys,
so don't do it. Take a stand.
Your pain. We have to make a stand somewhere. And at least you have this emotional support group to come back to vent. Yeah. Always send us your printer issues if you need to get it out.
Every time.
Voice memo us and DMs, whatever.
You know, I feel like, this is an official ask. If you have a printer issue, send it in, and then maybe we will read them. Yeah. One of these days. Read them aloud we'll do like printer probs with Ashley and Liz, little segment we'll do every so often. We'll read you guys your printer probs back to you.
Yeah. So you know. You know. We had a couple submitted, so we'll have to go through our archives. Yep. Send us some more too. All right, guys. All right. All right. I think it's time
to talk about other people's problems.
Little did you guys know we could talk for 15 minutes about printers. Little did you know.
I think they knew.
They knew.
They knew. Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Wait. So okay, this time this is what I'm anticipating. I think that we're gonna get, because the mansplainers are gonna come back out again. Yeah. For whatever reason, I don't really understand.
Well, the government needs to track. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what they're gonna say.
They're gonna be defending the printers.
They're gonna, and that's just big printer hacking into TikTok and Instagram and commenting. I swear.
It's just the printer, though. It's just the printer.
It's all the printer. They're all connected. Yeah. They know what they're doing. They hear us right now.
The mansplainers are gonna come out and they're gonna be like, a subscription makes sense because blah 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 blah. That's what's gonna happen, and they're gonna defend the subscription. Like I said, I want service. If I am paying for a printer subscription, I want everything. Yeah. I never want to buy printer ink again. Yeah. That's it. It's all included. Okay, so anyways, all right, rant over. So we'll get into these Am I the A-hole and it's printer edition. Just kidding, it's not.
Oh my gosh, we should find
we should do like a mini episode. Do you guys want a mini episode printer edition? I feel like I kind of do now because I feel like it would be really funny. But no, it is Bookish edition, of course. Yeah. So do you want me to start or do you want to start?
I'll go first this time.
All right.
Am I the a-hole for being picky with what I let set in my little free library? So here's the person. I love books and have always loved the little free library, so I put one in my yard. So cute. Cool. I hate when people use them to dump old manuals, falling apart, mass market Tom Clancy stuff. Another Tom Clancy call out. Or old musty romance books. Those always just sit there for weeks and they take up space. So every day I curate and swap those out for newer or better books in better shape. I'm a book reviewer, so I get a ton of free books, so I always have a good mix of new and older books. An older guy came by Nest Cam. They had a camera on their little free library, which is sad you have to do that these days, but you do because people are jerks. And the older guy shoved it so full of mass market books from the 80s that no one could put anything else in it. I went out to make some room and probably just toss out some of the books that I know even Goodwill will probably reject. And he came coming back with another box. People sometimes will leave boxes that end up getting destroyed and rained on out by it. And he asked me, what am I doing? I explained that there were too many books and that I like to curate my little free library so everyone can find something they like. He got pissed and told me that I was being an a-hole for discriminating.
Oh my gosh.
Discriminating an old white guy. Am I the a-hole? I just want my little free library to be fun and interesting, not a dumping ground for someone else's bookshelf of dad books.
So no, you're not an a-hole in my opinion because it's your little library and you should be able to do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. In your own yard that you built and put out for everybody and maintain it for the goodness of your heart and for funsies.
Yeah. What's this guy's problem? Like if he, go take it, go donate him somewhere if you just are trying to get rid of him. Who is this guy?
He doesn't want him either.
Yeah, obviously.
That's so weird.
It's so weird. It's like he feels entitled to just put his books wherever he wants. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And he's mad because she's like, no, dude, you can't just drop him. Maybe he's older and doesn't really realize, doesn't understand what it is. Maybe he thinks it's a donation bin.
Yeah, that's how he's treating it. But then he's mad that the person doesn't keep what's donated,
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Maybe it's like he's confused. You know how like there's those bins where you can like donate clothes?
That's what I would say to him. Oh, you're confused on what this is right now. We got to start turning her back on them, in a very like smart, mean girl, but sweet kind of way. Just like, oh, honey, you confused?
Yeah.
You don't know what this is. Oh, let me tell you. Because they do it to us.
Yes, all the time.
Just do it to them.
Oh, you're going to tell me that it's my own free little library that's in my own yard that I built and put here, but you get to tell me what to put in it. Great.
Yeah. Crazy.
Clearly, he is confused about how it works. But seriously, okay, like that's just to play the devil's advocate, just so we can see both sides, because obviously we both agree with her.
She's not the a-hole. She's the a-hole.
Right. But let's just say, okay, what if, because it's kind of a different time, like, there are now, those receptacle, like little, almost like mail box looking things that you can drop donations into.
Yeah, they look very different than this, though.
Well, they do look different, but like, what if he doesn't understand that that's not also how those work?
But there's no way, unless she rolls her, that would be pretty mean, but whatever, if she rolls her trash cans out and is like, dumping them. I'm imagining her taking them and going and putting them away. Maybe she's just dumping them right there, which, okay. But he doesn't need to get mad. He would just need to say, oh, if you don't want those, I'll take them to wherever. No.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like, you're done. Once you get rid of something, you then no longer control what happens to it, in my opinion. Especially, it's not somebody he knows. You don't know me, mister. Leave me alone.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. Weird.
Okay, so I also have a free little library question.
Cute.
Before we move on to the next one, did the people vote her as the a-hole or not? Or did they agree with us?
It was voted on Reddit that she was not the a-hole.
Okay. All right. That's kind of what I figured.
Yep.
Okay, so am I the a-hole for putting my friend's book in the little free library?
Ooh, dun dun dun.
I recently got a signed copy of a new book my friend wrote. I'm keeping him anonymous for this post, but we'll call him Seth. I got it as a gift. Even though I appreciated it and accepted the gift, I had already recently attended his book signing and had been very supportive of him through the whole process, so I felt my obligation was over at that point. I didn't feel like reading the book and had limited shelf space, so I deposited it discreetly at the little free library at the end of my block.
That's not... okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem discreet, but okay.
Yeah. Seth somehow found my signed copy in the little free library with a personalized message he wrote to me.
Oh.
And was heartbroken and furious.
Yeah.
Seth basically said he wants to quit writing forever, and me turning my back on his book is proof nobody can like his writing, even though I apologized. I still don't really think anything I did was all that bad. Am I the a-hole?
Ooh. I'm going to have to go with... they're the a-hole.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough because it's like, I get it. It was a gift. You're under no obligation to keep it. It's like we just said, once people give you something, it's no longer their business of what you do with it. However, I feel like it has a personalized inscription. He signed it to you. And then you're going to, quote unquote, discreetly walk it, 30 feet down the road? And like, put it in, like, at least, like, go somewhere, drive a few miles away, like something. What do you mean he somehow found it? Like, I feel like there's a part of the story that we're missing. Like, are you guys like roommates? Does he frequent that like little library often? Do you know what I mean?
He discreetly, like, as in he hid, but he still put it in a very obvious area.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really heartbreaking, I think.
Yeah. It's just like, it's not a nice thing to do to your friend if you're like truly their friend and want to support their writing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a book. How much space is it really taking up? And it feels like, I mean, they turned around and did it. It wasn't like I held on to it for a year or whatever, or wanted to donate it to somebody who hadn't had a chance to read it and was interested. It's just like, oh, thanks so much. Next day, walk,
bye,
dump.
Yeah.
And it's personalized inscription. Oh,
I know.
It makes me feel really sad for the person. So yeah, while you're in no obligation to keep a gift, you are obligated to not hurt your friend's feelings. Like right there, so blatantly. Yeah. I don't know. I think that is also diminishing how hard it is as an author to write a book. I don't know.
I feel like there's other ways of going about that too. Like, let's say you have this signed copy, you really like it, but you don't have room for it, right? Whatever. And you're going to want to donate it. Tell your friend, like, say, like, hey, I really appreciated this gift, but let's say you live in a really tiny studio apartment, you really don't have room. You know, I don't have room for this physical copy. Would you be offended if I, like, donated it to the local library so other people could enjoy it? I feel like there's a way to go about it as opposed to, like, essentially going behind your friend's back and, like, just sticking it somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. It's sad. I don't know. I think that you guys let us know. Are we wrong to think that they're the a-hole? What does Reddit say?
That they're the a-hole.
Yeah. I'm trying to, like, think a different way around it, and it's just right down the street on the same block.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's fair that his friend put all of that on him about, like, I shouldn't even write anymore because no one likes my books. Like, that's not cool.
No, that's a bit dramatic of a reaction. Your friend's just an a-hole. So, yeah.
They don't have that much power.
And they're your friends, so, I mean, unless it's, like, some really awful, terrible, like, racist piece of work, which I have a feeling it's not, because they're not saying anything about it being bad. They're just like, I don't feel like reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's not like they already had another copy. They clearly didn't. They supported him by showing up. But why? I just don't understand, I guess, why you wouldn't want a copy, a signed physical thing of a piece of work that your friend gave you that they created. That's a book. It's not like a monstrosity giant mural that you think is weird. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Could be worse. So,
What's the name of the painting on Friends? Is it Gladys?
Yeah. This is not Gladys.
Yeah, it's just, you could just tuck it right away. Yeah.
It's a little book. I don't know. How big could it be? How much could a banana cost?
It's the world's largest book. That's the part that they're leaving out.
Yeah. Like, story. I tried shoving it in. That's why he saw it from the little library.
Because it's just overtaking it all.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
All right. So, we'll pose all of these to you guys, too, in a vote. So, you can let us know what you think.
So, watch our Instagram stories this week. We will be posting them. And I think we do slides, too, as well, on our feed. Yep. All right. The next one. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give back a book an owner had sold by mistake after I purchased it? So, I, 29 female, and I don't really know why they do the ages. I don't feel like it always matters. Okay. I am an avid buyer of sales and being a part of different social media where people sell used items. The old adage is one man's junk is another person's treasure. A lady who is also a friend, so this is key. A lady who is also a friend places 20 books for sale for $5. I immediately reply to the post to purchase the books, and I pick up the books from my friend for $5. Okay. Later that night, I receive a call. So later that night, receive a call from that lady, that's my friend, that she accidentally sold her husband's first edition of The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. First printing. She tells me her husband is livid and it's creating marital discord with their marriage. I tell her that I will look into the situation and get back to her with an answer.
What?
So she called this person a friend in the first paragraph.
Then she's just a lady.
And then she's a lady. That's interesting. Okay. I explained the situation to my parents. Okay, so she's 29. So maybe the age maybe it makes sense. Not makes sense, but it's interesting. So she's 29. I explained the situation to my parents, and they said, under no circumstances do I return the book. It is ethically and morally yours, and you have no obligation to return it. My husband, so she's married, disagreed with my parents and said it was an honest mistake, and you will lose your friendship over this $1,000 book that was accidentally sold to you.
I was going to say, how much is it worth? Yeah.
I mean, it's a first edition, Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So is the whole reason why she's being an a-hole about it because she just is going to turn around and resell it? Yeah.
Totally. I subsequently took my parents' advice and I kept the book. And she kept the $5. Am I the a-hole for not returning the book and losing the friendship? She subsequently threw me off of her WhatsApp group and of the items of people selling, and I could no longer be on that platform. I got banned.
Oh my God.
You're the a-hole. 1,000%.
Horrible. That's horrible. Imagine.
Dude. Okay, so yeah, she says, she brings up ethically and morally.
Yeah.
This is your friend that you mentioned was your friend multiple times, and she made a mistake. Also, people make mistakes, you know?
Yeah.
Do we as a society suck now? We kind of do.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think in my heart that if I bought a bundle of books like that and at that same night, a day hasn't even passed yet, and somebody's like, oh crap, I made a mistake. I don't think that I could sleep at night keeping it. Be like, no problem, here you go.
I wouldn't even think twice about it. I'd be like, oh, sorry, yeah, I'll bring that back or whatever.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't even care.
Not. I'd say come and get it. Like, maybe I'm not going to drive to you, but come and get it, and that's fine.
Whatever. Yeah,
whatever it is. I just can't. I think that says a lot about somebody's character. And sorry if you don't think she's an a-hole, but to not, like, it was an honest mistake, and she notified you as soon as possible. If it, like, weeks went by or whatever, okay. But, like, it's literally the same day that we're talking about this. She clearly saw this person as a friend. There's multiple layers wrong with this issue.
Well, here's the thing. Like, as much as that does suck, and I'm sure the husband and wife are going to fight about that for a while, at least you know that your quote-unquote friend is a terrible backstabbing person.
Yeah.
And they're no longer your friend, because otherwise it might have been something worse later on down the line.
For sure. And I know the husband will get over it, because mistakes do happen, so it goes both sides. And I'm sure that kind of stuff happens every day. And, like, it is what it is. Especially on Facebook Marketplace and stuff, I'm sure things are accidentally sold. But, like, I don't know. I think that there's maybe a period of time that, sure, you can, legally she can keep it. Yeah, for $5. And she's going to just turn around and sell it for $1,000. But just because you can, does that mean you should? That's the question.
Yeah. What is that? Doesn't, what's his name, quote that in Jurassic Park?
I don't know, does he? That's good.
We kept asking ourselves if we can, but not if we should, or something like that.
Yeah, that's good. Words to live by.
So I was just doing a little teeny bit of research while you were telling us the rest of that story. So I just Googled how much is original first printing of The Grapes of Wrath. So I just found one. Used publication date 1939, hardcover binding, dust jacket condition, very good. Guess how much it's worth?
Right now, $3,500.
$4,800.
Oh my gosh. That girl knew what she was doing.
Guess what? I just found another one. It's
one of these is the one, you guys. One of this is the edition.
This one is 1939 first edition, a fine copy of the book in a price clip dust jacket that is otherwise in fine condition. Guess how much this one is worth? It looks like it has kind of a special, like, I don't know, like cover or whatever. Guess how much this one's worth?
It's nicer looking?
It looks nicer, yeah.
So then $5,500.
$17,500.
You guys, dude. She's like, F this person. I'm running away with my money. I don't know. I couldn't sleep at night. Maybe that's just me. You know? Like I said, if weeks went by and just, I don't know. It'd probably be sold already. But like, because I understand people go to garage sales all the time and estate sales and you buy, and even thrift stores, and you get stuff that's like, ooh, that's worth a lot more than they knew. But this person clearly made a mistake and notified you the same day. Obviously, if it was at a garage sale and you just randomly picked it, then they'd have to be like, oh well, like, oops, that was a costly mistake, but I'll never see that person again. And a lot of people go to garage sales looking for those things that people don't know, and that's a different line. I feel like when you have this person's information, they're
supposedly your friend. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I did this. Do you think I get it back? I think that changes the situation. So I don't want you guys to be comparing like your own garage sale hopping and estate sale hopping. I think it's a very different situation than that.
The estate sale hopper people come out of the woodwork.
You know? But but people do. Like, I have family that loves to do estate sales
No,
and stuff.
it's different. It's totally
And sometimes
different.
people are just trying to get rid of things and they don't know what they have, and it's like, whatever, because they just want to get rid of it. But this was just a very different situation, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering now, because it looks like, just a basic search. It looks like, some of them that aren't in very good condition, even the ones that aren't in very good condition, you could still get probably $500 or $1,000 for.
Wow.
But then the like good condition to like mid condition ones, it looks like go up to $25,000.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah. So who knows?
And of course, everybody voted her the a-hole.
Yeah,
mostly because like you're calling this person your friend in the whole thread, and then you're doing that to her, so you're not actually anybody's friend. You don't care about people, you care about money.
Yeah.
Sounds like she probably was going to sell the whole lot anyway. She jumped on it so fast. She probably doesn't even care. She's going to resell all of them. I just am so sick of resellers. I got to tell you that too. Okay, that's a different tangent for another time. They're ruining it for everybody. They're ruining concerts. They're ruining everything.
I mean, it's a problem.
Yeah. To purposely like buy bulk and things that people can't get just to resell it for like a crazy markup. Those kind of resellers. Yeah. Not like going on Pango and getting rid of your books you don't want. Like not like that.
I feel like it's
Fairy Loot special edition, buying 3 copies just to sell the 3 copies for $300 a piece that were originally $30. Yeah. Because you're taking those away from the people that just wanted to buy the copy for themselves for $30 for their collection. Just it's greed.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's super messed up. I do feel like a lot of the book companies, I mean, to make it relevant to like our topics, because it has been a problem for the book community. I feel like a lot of those companies are limiting. Like I know Fairy Loot now, I think you can just buy 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is, am I the a-hole for giving a book a 1-star rating? I, 30 female, am a co-host of a book club. 2 of the other co-hosts are one of my close friends who is just as active in the book club as I am, and a mutual friend who over time has been evidently losing interest and only showing up and reading the book whenever she feels like it. For context, this book club has operated on alternating nominations from all the members, so everyone has had a say in what we read. This particular month, the mutual friend's family member chose the book. To be frank, I hated the book. So did a handful of others that read it. I try to remain neutral during meetings, so I don't complain about what I didn't like, but I do rate the book honestly on our book club website. I proceeded to rate the book 1 star when we were 2 weeks out from our meeting and I finished the book. When the mutual friend noticed my rating, she came out the gate super aggressive, asking why I would rate the book so low, and then sent several angry texts to the other co-hosts saying how much of a a-hole move it is to give a rating that low and that no one likes book club anymore. Funny enough, that month's meeting was the best attended meeting in a couple of months. And a whole slew of other complaints. She complained it wasn't appropriate to give the book a rating so low. For clarity, she's the only one who's ever been offended when anyone hasn't liked a book she or her family member nominated. Everyone else is aware it's not a personal attack. The whole thing baffles me because that's the point of a book club. We all have different opinions, and the way she reacted, you think she wrote the book. I feel like we're all entitled to like or hate a book. The whole encounter has honestly soured my opinion of her ever since. I stopped providing my ratings until after the meeting because I don't want this kind of drama again, but I have no idea where the outrage came from. Am I missing something? Am I the a-hole?
Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole. That's what the internet says,
friend, on the other hand, though, is being an a-hole.
Jeez, I just can't imagine, like, getting so upset. Like, because there's, a lot of debate over whether or not you should be rating a book that low on public platforms, right? Like, if you should be rating a book, a 1 or a 2 star, if you're a book, quote unquote book reviewer on Instagram or Goodreads or Amazon or wherever you choose to review books. And I can kind of see both sides of that. Although, as someone who reviews books, I will rate a book honestly, even if it's 1 star. I'm not going to, and we've talked about that a little bit, I'm not going to tag the author. I'm not going to put him on blast or anything like that, but I am going to be honest about it. I don't think there's anything morally wrong with rating a book low if you read it in its entirety, and that's how you truly feel about it. What I think is interesting about this is that it's like, it seems like it's not even about any ethics. It's just she's mad because she didn't like it.
Like, that's
so
weird.
That's so weird.
Like, why is she feeling personally victimized by the 1 star? It's weird.
Yeah. By the 1 star. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand
is she
it.
secretly the author? That's the only reason why, like, it would make sense, except, like, you also have to take some criticism. I mean, that was an unbiased review. She didn't know. If she didn't know, You know that was you. It is what it is.
Imagine.
But weird.
She's like, my family member is suggesting we read. It's really like her pen name. It's just her. She's having her book club read her book in secret.
Yeah. Also, maybe this book club isn't for you. Like, it's time to move on.
Fine.
Clearly, you've been losing interest. So find a different book club. There's a lot out there.
Oh my God.
I love that was the highest attendance because people found out about the drama and they wanted to see what happened.
Totally.
They're like, what's going to happen?
And I think, too, though, it's like, popular books garner a lot of attention with book clubs, but I also think that books that are notoriously, like, kind of bad or that ones that people don't like will also create really good discussions. That's why it's like, even if we have a book that's, like, totally just not our thing in book club, sometimes the discussions can be some of the best because...
Yeah.
They're just
people got thoughts and feelings. Yeah.
Yeah. We want to talk about it.
It's great. Yeah, don't go to a book club if you can't handle people's reviews.
Yeah, that's just bizarre to me.
Weird. Very strange. All right, so my last one is, am I the a-hole for calling out my sister-in-law for buying and returning books just to make book talks? My sister started posting book talk videos in October of last year. If you're not familiar, it is a part of TikTok where people post about books. People post reviews, list of recommendations, book hauls, etc. She's always been a big reader, so I wanted to support her in this. Her videos are not super popular, and she's perpetually stuck in the 200-view jail, as they call it. She decided that in order for her to get more views and engagement, she would need to do the thing that people get a lot of views from, which is posting book hauls, which is just... here's a bunch of books I bought. I don't get it, but whatever. That's what the person said. What she actually decided to do was go buy a ton of books and then return them, and she kept doing it. I was shocked when she told me and asked her why she'd do that. She said it was just so she could get the views. I asked why she didn't just take videos in the store, and she said there were no way to make it aesthetic in store. I told her this was sketchy behavior, and when she said it was one of our local bookstores, not one of the big box ones.
Oh no, that's worse.
Yeah, exactly. That's what this person said. That makes it 10 times worse. She told me I was being shitty, unsupportive sister, and that she is trying her hardest to come up with ideas and break into book talk. That it's hard because there are people already at 10,000 followers and she's never going to get there. I told her that she should spend more time researching and working on her content, and maybe she can come up with ideas that aren't so sketchy. She's pissed off at me and made a video talking about her unsupportive family. No. Surprise, surprise, it got 200 views, so it didn't exactly work out for her. Was it wrong of me to call her out on how she gets her books and returns them? Is she the a-hole?
Okay, so I have multiple feelings about this. So...
let them out.
Okay, here's the thing. Do I think it's weird? Yes. Do I think that it makes her an a-hole if she goes and does that at Target or Barnes & Noble? Not really. Like, I think it's weird behavior, and I don't necessarily think that I would recommend it. But I don't necessarily, like, think that... I don't know. Like, I don't think that her sister's doing anything, like, necessarily wrong. As long as she's, like, careful with the books and is returning them in the same condition that she got them. Do I think that her sister is an a-hole for calling her out? No, I also don't think so. I think that that's totally valid to call her out. I do think that she is an a-hole for doing it to a small local business.
Yeah.
Because that literally, as a small business owner, that literally, like, let's say someone came in and bought a book haul of, like, 10 books.
Oh.
So let's say that's, like...
Make your day. It'd make your week.
It'd make your day. That's, like, $200, right? Like, and... that $200 could pay a significant amount of some of your work bills. Or, like, maybe, it's back to school for your kids and you spent that money taking them to get clothes or, like, school supplies or, like, something like that. And then the next day, that person comes back in and returns them all. It's, like, not only is that costing you, like, maybe you already spent that money or maybe you already counted on that money. But then also, like... you're still paying, like, the credit card fees to... like, you paid the credit card fees when they bought it. Now you're paying the credit card fees to return it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, whatever. Like, it's costing you money now to have someone return it, which is a bummer. And so I think doing it to, like, a local business is just a really low thing to do. However, I will say, also as a small business owner, if I noticed that a client was doing that more than a couple times, I would tell them they can't anymore.
Yeah. 100%.
So I feel like it's only a matter of time if she keeps doing that to the same local business before someone gets wise to it and tells her that's not allowed anymore.
Yeah.
Or she's not allowed to do that anymore because she's abusing the privileges.
Yeah. I mean, and even Target and them, they ask for ID. Like, they'll, I've heard, get banned eventually, too. So
Yeah. So
might
it's
take
just
a little
like,
longer, but she'll get banned.
yeah. So it's like, is it shady
And then you can't
behavior?
return anything, ever.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
if you need to. So
Good
do you
luck.
really want to do that? Yeah.
So I don't think her sister's an a-hole for calling her out. I don't think the girl is necessarily... I think it's weird and not super cool to do, but I don't think it makes her an a-hole unless she's doing it to a small business, personally.
Yeah, and you know, you gotta rethink your life here if that's what you're doing, because like the sister said, like you just want to get views just to get views. Like, do you want to actually create quality content for people? You're going to have people asking about those books, and you're just not going to read them, you know, because you have to return them. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's weird, too, is that it's like, you know, there's been multiple times when it's like, I've read an e-arc, or,
yeah,
you know, I don't have a book in person.
Yeah.
You can literally just Photoshop it into a picture.
Yeah,
like,
I do that on my iPad, like, all the time. Like,
yeah, same. Like, you don't.
I just read this on my e-Kindle, so there you go. Like,
right, like you don't have to have the physical copies of books to be able to make aesthetic photos that include them. People do it constantly,
and I've seen plenty of aesthetic in-store photos too.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's other options.
I wanted to do this one because I come from the beauty space and beauty videos where that has come up every now and then of people buying products to review and then turning around and returning it. Whereas books, if she's keeping them in perfectly pristine condition, they can be resold. When makeup was the case, and people were doing that is just creating so much waste because you are returning that product and it can no longer be sold. So now you are just part of the problem.
Yeah,
you know, unless you genuinely don't like something, like you just tried it, reviewed it, you hated it, then okay. I know with books you can't even do that, but like, yeah. So it was interesting. It was an interesting take. I'm like, well, yeah, because you can keep them nice, but just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
I just figure out genuine content that you can afford, because there's plenty of ways. And I read an update in there. I don't have it screenshotted, but a sister had even made suggestions about, why don't you get them from the library? Oh, I can't. They have the plastic covers on them. Like, well, cater, you know, it seems like, you know, if you are strapped for money, that is a great thing to show people of like how to be a reader.
Just be
when
genuine.
You don't have these thousands of dollars a month to spend on books that some of the big book talkers do. You know?
Well, and I mean, truthfully, like that's like, just to even delve into that a bit more, it's like a lot of the big book talkers don't have to buy any of those books because they just get them sent all for free at this point too.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
So don't try to achieve that level. Figure out how to cater it to your demographic, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't think the sister's an a-hole. I'm sure that's what the internet said too, right?
Yeah, so the sister's not an a-hole for calling her out. They think the person is an a-hole for doing that, especially the local bookstores. So there you go.
Not cool. Okay, so this is would I be the a-hole? So they're asking for advice before they make the decision. Yeah, ahead of time. For suing my friend after she wrote a book about me.
Ooh.
Yeah. I, 29 female, have a friend called Maya. Okay, this is in air quotes, so it's not really her name. Maya and I have been friends for 9 years after meeting at university. Maya went through a lot of mental health issues in her early to mid-20s, which impacted her career prospects. But a couple of years ago, she found an outlet in writing and now writes and publishes her stories online. They are of the spicy romance variety. I've never read any of them because they're just not my thing, but I know she has a lot of regular readers. Recently, Maya shared that she had been contacted by a small publishing company which publishes ebooks who were interested in publishing one of the stories she had been sharing online. I was ecstatic for her, as it is a move towards making writing a profession, which is what she really wants. About 3 weeks ago, a mutual friend of ours, quote-unquote Amy, contacted me and asked if I had read any of Maya's current story, as she had looked it up online and she thought it had some eerie similarities to my life.
Oh.
I looked it up and read a big chunk of it, and it was more than just similarities. It was basically a melodramatic reimagining of my life, specifically about my relationship with my fiancé and my complicated relationship with my father. I don't know how relevant this is, but she also altered their characters in certain situations to make the plot pretty toxic. I was devastated and disgusted, to say the least. I met up with Maya and asked how she could do this to me. Her explanation was that she was so inspired by my life and the things I told her that the ideas just came to her. I kept saying they weren't her ideas. They were sensationalized details of my real life. She didn't have a single original thought in the whole story. Maya apologized profusely for hurting me and that she was embarrassed by how much she had taken from life, but she really loved writing the book. I told her I wasn't comfortable having my private life aired like that. Maya said nothing in the book was identifiable as me, so it wasn't like she'd done anything illegal, and I said, well, we'll see about that. I've contacted lawyers, and they've said suing her would be largely pointless in terms of stopping the book being published, but starting legal proceedings might scare a small publishing company enough to drop her as an author. Oh. I am seriously considering doing this. Worst case, I can't do anything to stop the book going ahead, but I've caused her an iota of the stress and hurt she's caused me. Best case, this creepy project never sees the light of day. A couple of my friends are saying I shouldn't sue her because at the end of the day, this is her work and an opportunity for her to make a career for herself and take care of her child after all she's been through. I know this could ruin things for her and I might be acting out of anger, but I really think it's justified after she betrayed my trust like this. Would I be an a-hole to go ahead with suing?
Oh, that's a tough one right there, honestly.
I know. When I read this one, I was like curious to hear what you guys thought about it.
Because like life inspires art. Oh.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Well, I feel okay. As a writer, I am not like published in that way. Like I haven't written a book that's been published, but like I write, and I feel like, you know, as someone who has had to study the ethics of what you can publish, because I also have a journalism degree, I feel like as much as you want to say that's about my life, the second that it becomes possible for people to not be able to share what they're saying is fiction because they think that it resembles, you know, like reality too much, then the slippery slope of being able to essentially like censor what everybody is writing because someone thinks it is about them could go to a really dark place real quick.
Yeah, and
do you know what I mean?
I mean, when we're talking, in court and like if it would hold up, it wouldn't hold up. If she's not using anything identifiable, only her and the friend that brought light to the situation know that it's about her, you know? Right. So then you have nothing because there are already cases that have, what is it called? Like taken precedent.
Yeah.
So then it would go out the window because I'm sure this happens all the time. People sue all the time for this stuff. So it won't go anywhere. I would say like, I don't know, like maybe negotiate with your friends. See if you can get like a payment for the inspiration, something just to help with some resolution. It's a very sticky situation because should the friend have like, you know, talked to her before writing it? Maybe, but she probably knew she was going to say no. It's pretty sticky. Life inspires art and she changed it enough to not be identifiable. So I don't know, man.
I feel like, so the internet thinks that they're an a-hole for if she went ahead and sued her.
Yeah.
I would say I would agree, but I think that there could have been, as you say, a better way of going about it on both sides. Like, I feel like the friend could have told her, like, hey, I'm writing this story, and it's kind of very loosely, you know, in some ways based on you and your life. Like, you know, I want to talk to you about it before I move forward with it, but just know that I'm really inspired by it. So it's going to influence a lot of my writing. And then see, you know, if she says, like, absolutely not, you can't write about anything that's inspired by my life, then you're going to have to decide if that friendship is worth losing over potentially publishing this book. I
mean, she probably already did decide that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she has to know that, well, especially if she didn't think, she sounds like my assumption would be she knew she was going to be told no. So it's more like ask for forgiveness. And if I lose her anyways, you know, oh well. It just sounds like a mess, but you know,
I mean, it's also possible that both of them are a little bit of a-holes. You know what I mean? Like that's also possible.
Like a little bit of a-holes, but a little bit not. Like these are all like just because you can doesn't mean you should. But on both sides for them, that's tricky. So she has to now decide. It's already done. She has to decide: is that worth losing the friendship over? Is she done with her already? you're not going to win in court, but maybe she could go in for some kind of deal, you know, just like, hey, I want 10% of your deal that you get or something. Just, and then they'll still move on. They won't be friends anymore.
Yeah, it's like too far. Like she should have brought it up like while it was happening and then kind of see, I don't know.
But I'm sure hard. That's sure that happens all the time. People inspired, you know? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It is really tough. It is really tough. Like I definitely know that like in my past, I've specifically chosen not to write about certain things because of the fact that I thought that it might offend certain people, even though I have every right to write about those things and they were true.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, true to me and my, like the way that it affected me or true to my own life. But you have to really weigh whether or not it's worth, if it's worth, you know, I say ruffling those feathers, but, you know, causing this issue for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, toughie.
That's tough.
Tough. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah. I'll be curious about that for sure.
All right, you guys. That's it we have for Reddit reactions this time, but we'll be back for more. Don't worry.
We will be back for more.
And don't leave because we got a round of Unhinged. Smash or pass. Yeah,
mine is so random. I don't even know why I thought of it. It just like came to me earlier today and I was like, oh, that's a good one. I don't think we've done that one yet.
Hit me with it.
Okay, so mine is like a multifaceted option. So you have options. So, smash or pass, Hercules. But it has to be, you could choose either the animated Disney Hercules or the live action, corny, was it early 2000s Hercules live action?
I don't even know what that is.
What? Google it.
I gotta look it up. Google it. Yeah, Google it.
I can't believe you've never heard of this. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be such a treat for you when it pops up.
Oh, let's see. Live action Hercules. I thought they were talking about doing it still.
But it was a TV show.
Oh, TV show? Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe I know. Like, what? No, that was He-Man, wasn't it? Danny DeVito.
Wait, am I thinking of the right?
They're trying to cast they're talking about casting the new one.
I am pretty positive that I remember this show from like the early 2000s because I wasn't allowed to watch it.
That's funny. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch any of the Hercules, any Greek mythology. I don't know, dude. Show?
Hold on,
okay. Maybe it's this guy.
Wait,
yeah, it has to be this guy.
Yes, it's totally this guy.
That guy? This guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, pass. I was like starting to think that I made it up. I'm like, I can picture it in my head. Why isn't it coming up?
They all know. People are yelling his name. I don't know his name. Live action. No, just kidding. Smash the animated, pass the live action. And I don't even like the animated, but if I have to choose one, then I have to do the animated. That guy freaks me out, the live action guy. The real human.
Live action. Yeah. That's hilarious because same. And I do like the animated Hercules movie. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the guy. I mean, like whatever. He's a Tarzan for me.
Oh, like Hercules, the like even the animated one?
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, they are going to remake it. I think Disney's going to remake it into a like live action movie. Yeah, but I don't know who's going to play him or anything like that.
Yeah. Danny DeVito. No, he's one of the guys, one of Hades' guys.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay, so for you, I've kept this one in my pocket for a couple weeks.
Oh, no.
Wizard of Oz, you have to pick one of the, like, 3 helper guys. So, what do you got?
3 helper guys.
The lion, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow. The Straw Man.
The Straw Man.
Is it 3? There's not 4?
Yeah, there's 3.
Let's make it 4. Let's put the other guy in there, the Wizard of Oz.
The actual Wizard of Oz?
The wizard. So out of those 4, you have to pick one. You have to.
This is really hard because it would be a pass on all of them.
I know. That's why it's good.
Guys, I don't know. This is so... Okay,
well,
so...
process of elimination. Then.
No, exactly. Let's do the logic, okay? Yeah, so logic. The wizard is automatically out because he is a phony coward. Okay, out. Even though he's the only straight up just like regular human, so whatever. Okay, so he's out. Okay, so then we have the lion. So he's cowardly. That's his issue.
Yeah.
Then we have
gonna be annoying.
the Tin Man, who's obviously not just made of tin, but also doesn't have a heart.
And he's really squeaky.
And he's really squeaky. and then you have the Scarecrow, who doesn't have a brain.
And he's scratchy.
And he's scratchy and has really wobbly legs.
Knocking knees.
Knocking knees. Okay, I'm going to go with... Who do you think I'm going to pick?
I don't know. That's a hard one.
I'm going to go with the Tin Man.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Just because I have to choose one.
Because he's heartless.
He's heartless. Yeah, he just seems like the best option, all things considered. I don't know.
Yeah, it's bad. It's slim pickings.
Well, like I said, it's like the lion, he is annoying. Like, he's too annoying.
Yeah, he really is.
Keep in mind, guys, this is my favorite movie of all time, so I've seen it about 10 billion times. He's annoying. I don't like it when they curl his hair and put the little bow on the top of his head. It freaks me out.
Oh, yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, so it just gives me the icks, you know? Yeah. So he's out. So then, like, the Scarecrow, he's cool, but, like, it's the wobbly legs thing for me.
It's the scratchiness for me.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Like hay. Have you ever sat on a bale of hay?
Yeah, it hurts your legs. It's scratchy.
And it stays on you forever. Can you imagine? There's straw everywhere.
But here's the thing about the Tin Man, like, he seems like a nice guy, and he's a woodsman.
Yeah, all right. He chopped some wood. All right.
Yeah, so we don't know what he looked like before he got turned into a Tin Man, but lumberjack might not be the worst.
Yeah. You know he got sick from that paint?
I do know that.
Yeah, yeah, I'll have to just go with Tin Man, too.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
I think the Wizard would be a runner-up just because, like, maybe he just, I don't know, get it over with and run away. It's fine.
Get it over with and run away. Yeah. Send him off in his balloon.
I'll go with the Wizard.
Goodbye.
I'll switch it up. I'll go with the Wizard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because he's the most, like, normal choice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Less haphazard choice.
I feel like this is some kind of like psychology, like personality quiz. Like whoever you choose says something innately about you.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would be, but I feel like it makes sense that would be a thing. You know what I mean?
For sure. For sure.
Says something about your psyche deep down inside.
So if you want to vote too, make sure to follow us on Instagram. We'll post the polls up every weekend so you can have a say in what you think. And for science, we need to know. Follow us there. Besties in the Books podcast. And make sure to like and follow and subscribe anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcast at Besties in the Books podcast, you guys. But that's it for today. We're going to see ya. When are we going to see ya?
Next Tuesday and Friday.
For the bonus episode. Bye.
Yep. Bye.